Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now these are your readings for the full moon for August the 3rd. So that's the full moon in Aquarius at 11 degrees Aquarius, 11 degrees 45 minutes. Now it's a bulk introduction as ever. There will be a timestamp down below so that once you've watched my waffle the once, you don't have to watch it all over again. Just click on the timestamp in the description. Now, also in the description, there is a link to my Facebook page for this channel, which is relevant for this video. But that's also where you can contact me for a personal reading if you want. Now, these are general readings. I call them Gods at Play readings because the full moon is about opposition, sun, opposition, moon. It's about the push and pull of the forces. Now, I use God cards like Gods of Titans, Mythic Oracle, Dark Goddess Oracle cards, to look at the forces that are working to suppress you and the forces that are looking to uplift you. The forces that are suppressing you, I'm taking a Gnostic view of the ancient gods, that they are masks being worn by the archons who want to feed off of our pain and misery and fear and general non-connectedness to the divine. The bottom row is the true gods from the pagan point of view, the gods that are there to help lift us up to our higher selves, to connection with the divine, or that are simply there to ensure the functional running of the universe, one or the other. You know, there's certain gods within the pagan religions, they don't care whether you're there or not. Other gods do care. So we can see the interplay between all of those. So this is there's not a past and a present, so there's not really an element of take what resonates either. It's like an energetic forecast, and it'll either be useful for you or it won't. I would imagine if your birth chart is affected by this full moon, or at the moment by Uranus in Taurus, then these readings will probably be more relevant for you. You can ask a question beforehand, like I tend to say in all my normal videos. I make no promises as to whether the answer to your question will even be touched upon, because it's not really that sort of spread. But hey, give it a go. Give me some feedback if you ask a question you get an answer, because that'll be interesting to know. Now, as I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, says me, discussing about the full moon or the astrology of the full moon per se, because there's plenty of astrologers on YouTube who are doing it better than me. I would particularly recommend, as ever, Anastasia Cosmic Astrologer. I recommend Rick Levine, the Astrology Hub, Rick, R-I-K, Leo King. You know, Namaste Today. I've not watched it yet today. It's Sunday and it's out. And as I'm actually discussing this, I have done 7 of the readings so far. I've got as far as Libra. The rest I'm going to actually have to do tomorrow on the day of the full moon. So if you're Scorpio onwards in the zodiac, sorry, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. But one thing that did get my attention about this full moon is that it is square Uranus in Taurus, and a square creates a difficulty that can be overcome through creativity, through the application of creative energies, whatever that means. And I think that has shown in the 7 readings that I've done so far, as this time they seem quite personal. I mean, maybe you could take it on a societal level, but this time they seem very, very personal situations. Something that they all feel a lot closer to home rather than any commentary on what local governments might be doing or local police forces. You know, as my full moons a couple of months ago, was it even last month? It must be a couple of months ago now, seemed to pick up on a lot of the protests that had not yet started when I did the readings. But don't worry, you are still rebelling. You are still resisting, but you seem to be rebelling and resisting things that are a lot closer to home. But that rebelling and resisting does seem to be a theme with the readings this month. And also, no, it's gone out of my head what I was about to say. So where were we? Rebelling and resisting. That square to Uranus, there's repeated themes that are coming up for everybody. There's the Archons pretending to be Poseidon or Uranus have come again and again and again. And opening doorways to transformation of your own life, transformation of where you believe that you're heading. That's coming out as well. Now, if I haven't said it already, you want to watch your sun and your moon, obviously, and your rising sign, because in ancient astrology, the rising sign is the most important, hence the timestamp. Now, I'm just going to have a look at the, excuse me, the symbols of this degree. As I said, 11 degrees Aquarius, so written down in like inside degrees as Aquarius 12, because 11 something is the 12th degree. And the Chandra symbol is, or inside degree symbol, is a heated argument turns into laughter. Now what it talks about is tension and release, contraction and expansion, the breath of the mind resolving its dualities. Now Rick Levine on I think it was on Astrology Hub was saying that the whole job description of Uranus is to instantly resolve irreconcilable opposites, and try saying that after a couple of whiskey. So this really sits with the theme. Now it says, in order to make it possible for radical truths and significant realizations to come through, you must first karmically dramatize, inside the ego mind and outside as well, the unbearable tension between opposing points of view. You enter upon disputes, advocate positions, set up heroes and villains. And then when your whole inner and outer world is packed with dilemmas, problems, arguments and battles, you become ready to seek out synthesis, to enter upon a cycle of restoring wholeness. During your experimental years, spice means everything. But during your maturity, there is no further mileage to be had in turning anything against anything else. Getting it that you made it all up in the first place, and that the rational mind delights in controversy but has its limits. When resolution comes, everything looks different. All of life turns around, and most particularly your relation to yourself changes from the critic into the friend and respectful ally of your own inward intentions. Yes, I didn't read this before I did those first 7 readings, but that makes a lot of sense with what I've seen all the way up to Libra. And now I love the Omega symbol is a man struck by lightning is miraculously unharmed. And it's showing that lightning effect of Uranus to bring in change. One thing that Rick Levine said again is that Uranus in Taurus does not like change. So Uranus this time will bring bigger changes less often, because it's like that change energy builds up, like as he said, within a capacitor, and then all of a sudden pop and it's used. Now as they say here, it's a wonderful thing to be serious and passionate about life, but not good when, through our attachment, we turn what is important to us into a burden. Now, this degree is about knowing and focusing on what is important to us, that came out in the readings as well, while learning to carry it lightly. When we attune to the greater spiritual reality from which our consciousness has arisen, we inevitably come to know the joy of pure being. Now, there is symbols of hope here. I mean, all this is fantastic, but it sounds like a lot of work as well, doesn't it? Now, the Pleiadian symbol, which I'm not entirely sure where that's from, because I've not been able to source the origin of these Pleiadian symbols. I mean, other than the Pleiades, obviously. An escalator carrying people far into the sky, which is just a beautiful image. So whatever the full moon brings to you, I want you to consider that whatever it is a step up. Simple as that. Even if it really doesn't look like a step up, that's the way you have to look at it. For your own sanity, that's the way you have to look at it. But whatever it is, it's a step up. Now, interestingly here, from the information that I got, there's each degree has a seed degree and a fulfillment degree. And if somebody could guide me in the comments as to what that actually means, I'd be very grateful. But the seed degree, this really grabbed me, is Leo 23, so obviously 22 degrees Leo. So the sun right now is, well, right now as in the time of the full moon, will be at 11 degrees Leo. So a simple another 11, so you know, numerology 11, big important number, to this seed degree, Leo 23. And it says, a secret race of beings carrying on a hidden existence among humans. That's the Omega symbol for that degree. Now, for the more tinfoil hat wearing of us, that obviously will make you think, oh my God, it's the astral reptilians and the they live scenario. But there's also looked at it in a young adult fiction way. You know, like the X-Men or the Eternals soon to be released, or you know, elves walking among us, all that sort of thing. But what I'd like to give you the image of is that we are that secret race of beings walking around, carrying on a hidden existence among humans. I mean, obviously, we are humans. We are all humans. We are all humans. And we are all aliens if you take reincarnation into account. So there's this 1 degree of the full moon straight after the 3 eclipses and everything else that's been going on this year. 2020, I mean, for God's sake, October's full moon is on Halloween. I mean, if it was going to happen any year, of course it will be this year. But there is a wonderful sense of activation, both in the degree symbols, even that seed degree of 11 degrees Aquarius being Leo 22 degrees Leo, there's that wonderful sense of activation, especially if you think about that escalator thing as well. And there is, in the readings, a wonderful sense of not just activating it as an idea, but actually doing. Right. And there's me saying I wouldn't waffle about the astrology, but I don't think I have. I've stuck to the symbols. So, timestamp down below for the next one that you watch. Remember, sun, moon and rising. Birth chart link down below as well. If you don't know what your moon and rising are, they're always a good idea to have a look at. Comment. It is always good to receive the feedback. And thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed or liked the videos so far. The likes do help, the subscriptions help even more, and hey, you want to see what I'm going to do, so subscriptions, notifications bell, and come and join us on the Facebook page, link down below. Right, time to get on with your reading. And welcome Taurus rising and Taurus moon after the timestamp if you've just joined us. And okay, Taurus, there's an interesting layer of gods supporting you and against you. And so, against you, the archontic masks of the gods, we have Osiris with renewal, Iris with harmony, Hininritpo with trust, Lilith with equality, and Hestia with her inner fire, goddess of the hearth here. However, those that wish to lift you up, those that serve you into getting more in line with your higher self, we have Prometheus with altruism, Themis with the natural order, Isis here with resurrection. So there's a very interesting opposition here between the ideas of renewal and resurrection. the Valkyries with redemption, and Psyche with doubtfulness. So I think this could be best summed up in let it burn down and build anew. Whereas renewal is working against you, but resurrection is working for you. And again, you know, you will hear tarot readers saying, oh, there's a divine pairing here. Well, you don't get much more of a divine pairing than Isis and Osiris. But here they are, that's not the true Osiris. That's the Archontic mask pretending to be Osiris here. And so renewal rather implies that we are making something new again, whereas the resurrection is implying that something is passing away and something better and more vitalized is rising like a phoenix from the ashes. You know, you can look at it like the story of the Phoenix, or like the story of Doctor Who, from one regeneration to the next. One passes away for the next Doctor to spring into being. But what I would suggest is that you keep an eye on... Common sense seems to be your greatest ally here. And going to protect the home, simply because it's the home and it needs protecting, and unleashing whatever monsters that requires, is not necessarily a good plan. And just do be very, very careful about where you are putting your trust. And with this trust card, I'm thinking more of an overarching, you know, like a societal thing, rather than somebody around you that you currently trust and shouldn't be doing. But I think there is certainly a call here to measure your trust. It's like, I have friends who I trust implicitly. Absolutely trust them implicitly. I trust them to be by my side. I trust them to stand with me. I trust them to be there when I need them. But there's certain tasks and there's certain jobs that I wouldn't trust them with. Not because they are untrustworthy, but just because I wouldn't trust them with that thing. A clumsy person can be the best friend ever. But it doesn't stop them being clumsy, and you do not really want them to go heading into a room full of glass display cabinets and delicate items displayed within them. You know, it's like, let's go outside and have some fun there, well away from the breakables. So I do think that you need to measure your trust. And I'm thinking that not in a linear scale, but as more of a circular scale. You know, I trust them to be there for me. I don't trust them to pick up my shopping, because I will tell them what I need to get and they will have forgotten all of it by the time that they get there, and they'll come back with Lord knows what, but it won't be what I was after. But also with Lilith being there, it's almost like there's an urge to rebel against something because it is protecting something close to home, where maybe you should let that, whatever it is that's close to home, let it go. Let it go, let it pass away, because something better is coming in its place. There's certainly an element of service to others here with the altruism card, but also Prometheus is the archetypal hero to a great extent. He's the person who, never mind what the gods want, let's look after man. But somewhere along the lines here on this full moon, there's an option here for personal redemption. But I do feel that that personal redemption, it makes sense. It's something that you can manifest. And quite possibly this effort to renew something or to rebuild something doesn't make sense. It's not fit for purpose. There's no point rebuilding a steam train for a train line that doesn't exist anymore. And that's the dichotomy I'm getting with this renewal. Almost a sense of throwing good money after bad. Doubtfulness here is something that works in your favour. Having a healthy skepticism in order to work out what it really is that you want to protect. Four of Pentacles here, which is interesting because the drive to protect your home is very combative. Five of Swords here. But your drive of doubt is the thing that is actually protecting. Now, with this resurrection, there could be a love element with this. It could be that you're renewing. No, I'm not going to use the word renewing. That you are having a second go with somebody. In which case, it's something that you would need to work at, but it looks like it would work out well. But, again, it's a new chapter, not the repetition of an old chapter, if that is what's going on here. But it rather feels like, with Themis in the natural order clarified by the King of Wands here, that, and he's appeared in your previous reading in Aries as well, but this time he's on the side of the goodies, that your role is to assist nature to destroy whatever it needs to destroy in order to work towards a resurrection, work towards a something better coming along, something that is redeeming specifically you. And again, this is from it's not like you won't have plenty of chances to help others. It's your motives taken under the full moon of an altruistic nature here look like you've got plenty of options of how to do them, but look for the option that is just working along with the way that nature is, the natural process of things. Now, we have how here with protection as the angel here on your side, facing off against Nibirius with criminal enterprise. So again, that makes me think about this trust issue. If there's anything where the I's need dotting and the T's need crossing, examine it very, very carefully. But I can't help but think from this reading that sleep with one eye open. But then when that trust is proved to you, that's fine. Because this trust here, Hinenritapo, is clarified by the moon, clarified by illusions. So it could be just as illusionary when you don't trust somebody as it could be when you do trust somebody. But allow your intuition to guide you when it says do not release the monsters, do not release the rage, do not release those more negative aspects of your personality, because down here you've got plenty of actions that you can take, but you need to look at the actions that do the most good. That's actually really, really nice, because this Seven of Cups, I mean, they're all over the place, these cups, and it's almost like, yeah, I can do all of that, but I already know what I'm doing, and I'm doing it for the right reasons. Hopefully that will mean something to you, Taurus, but that's what I see here. Like I say, trust is an issue. here. So, if it means anything to you, or comment down below when it means something to you, because I'm not going to say that it will already, but when it means something to you, bear it in mind. It is not necessarily time to release the hounds, let's put it that way. Okay, Taurus, comment down below. Your next readings to come out will be your Chinese zodiac, so stay posted for them. See you soon, good luck.